Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Dan Walker and Sally Nugent.
The headlines for you at 6 o'clock this morning. Good morning, it's Monday, it's the 21st of February and a third named storm in less than a week is sweeping across the UK this morning, bringing heavy winds and heavy rain.
Now, Storm Franklin has already caused severe flooding in parts of Northern Ireland, while in Yorkshire and Greater Manchester, people have been forced to leave their homes for safety. Will Batchelor has more.
Clearly a bit windy.
Battling the wind
morning,
bravely,
yeah.
yes. Now, the last remaining COVID restrictions in England are set to be lifted, including the legal requirement to self-isolate after testing positive.
The Prime Minister will outline the plans a little later today, but critics say the move is premature and driven by political considerations.
We are joined now by our Carol. Thanks very much indeed. We will see you then.
One of those days, like normal, where you have to pay very close attention to what
we especially need Carol today, don't we?
Later today, the Prime Minister will lay out his vision for repealing all remaining COVID restrictions in England, saying his plan will bring the country towards a return to normality. Those are his words.
Well, despite this, he's warning that we shouldn't throw caution to the wind as the virus still remains dangerous for some. So what will change? Hello, this is Breakfast with Dan Walker and Sally Nugent.
Coming up on the programme for...
It is 6:35. The weather has affected lots of things over the last few days, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Particularly the sport over the weekend, the match between Manchester United and Leeds and Manchester United. The conditions were pretty grim, weren't they, Holly?
It was mucky, wasn't it?
It doesn't matter when you get goals, does it?
Exactly. And,
there were plenty.
Mucky was the weather, but, you know, the crowds... We forget about this rivalry sometimes, Manchester United and Leeds United.
Well, it's been a while.
It's been a while. The last time fans were at Elland Road, 2003, Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
When you think about that, I mean, it's incredible. And there's a great story on Twitter yesterday. The train driver who pulled up in Leeds with all the United fans said to them...
It's something to laugh about in years to come, isn't it? Left foot, right foot.
I don't think she's ever going to laugh about that, ever.
Maybe she's a defender.
Rory McIlroy had to say about Phil Mickelson.
He's not happy. He's not happy.
I've read the quote. So essentially, Phil Mickelson and quite a few golfers have been talking about the money that's going into golf from this proposed Saudi Golf League, the tour. And Mickelson has had quite a bit of criticism. And Rory McIlroy did not hold back. He said, "I don't want to kick someone while he's down, obviously, but I thought his comments were naive, selfish, egotistical and ignorant."
Say what you think, Rory.
Around the issues, is he, Rory McIlroy?
He's not one to do that. I think he's at that point now, isn't he, where he just sort of thinks, I can say what I want now.
It's about a lot of money. That's what it's about, isn't it?
It comes down to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Holly. See you a bit later.
Now, more on one of our main stories this morning. The Queen is experiencing mild cold-like symptoms after testing positive for COVID. Royal journalist Victor...
It's one of those days, as we said today, time to pay very close attention to what Carol is saying. Because, Carol, we've got another storm in the space of just a few days, haven't we? What is Franklin bringing the UK? Bring us up to date on what is happening there. I mean, what sort of situation are you facing?
Yeah. Obviously, it's a really distressing time for people who do have to perhaps leave their homes or for, when their lives are disrupted in this way. How have people been reacting to the current situation?
Hope that, as you say, when people do start getting up, that you're able to take care of everybody. Everyone's able to safely get about if they need to today. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And, of course, we will keep you completely up to date with the latest situation. Carol will be giving us updates throughout the morning.
That's my normal route into work as well, through Glossop site.
Yes.
It took me a little bit longer to get here this morning.
I was a little bit worried about you this morning.
Around the motorways.
Was it bad?
Well, there's quite a few lorries on the motorways as well. You've seen all the pictures, haven't you, of lorries, some lorries getting toppled over the course of the last few days. So
just be careful
Just be careful.
Yeah, be very careful.
10 to 2 the whole time.
Yeah. It is 10 to 7 exactly now. 30 years ago, Lady Marie Dawson-Malcolm suffered a devastating spinal injury that left her paralysed from the chest down.
Despite the mental and physical trauma, she fought to overcome her situation and has since devoted her life to helping others with similar injuries.
It is a cause that's being supported by Martin Hibbert, the Manchester Arena bomb victim, whose story we have been following on Breakfast. Graham Satchell reports. And we will be speaking live to Lady Marie along with Martin Hibbert. That's just after 8:30 on the programme this morning. Really looking forward to that. Yeah,
lots to fit in for you today. If you're just waking up, we've got the very latest from Carol throughout the morning as well on the latest storm, which is Storm Franklin, which is affecting quite a few people right across the UK this morning. Yeah, let's go now to get the news, travel and weather where you are this morning. Carol, thank you very much for that. We will follow that closely throughout the day.
Now, as we have been reporting this morning, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson is expected to announce an end to the remaining COVID restrictions in England.
But what will it mean for employers and employees? Well, Sarah's at a workplace in the East Midlands this morning and is trying to find out for us. Good morning, Sarah.
Thank you very much indeed. Lovely breakfast going on there, thinking that gorgeous office.
See those little smoothie thingies as well.
Yeah, they were posh, weren't they?
Now, here's a weird one for you, talking about jobs. Imagine if you found out that your job wasn't actually real.
That's what happened to more than 50 people who were hired to work for a design agency that turned out to be fake.
Yeah, through an online web of phony profiles, stolen work and lies, the group was led to believe they were joining a successful business. Catherine Nye has been investigating this one. Simon, lovely to speak to you on the programme. Give us an idea of what sort of travel restrictions you had to go through. What was it like to be on that first flight?
Koala on this programme, so we're delighted to see that you've got a cuddly koala. That's the most exciting thing we've seen so far today. It's great. But, I mean, this could be a problem, couldn't it? Because actually their head, a storm was coming.
Yeah, see that in the distance, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I hope that's perked you up this morning. Time now for the news of travel and the weather wherever you are. Hopefully this will put a smile on a lot of people's faces. Congratulations. So pick up the story, Jana, from the request for a generator. What happened? Having had a brilliant weekend, can I ask you about what your parents and close family were like? Were there some particularly stressed people in that sort of the inner circle?
Yeah.
That very well-known holiday destination, Spain, Portugal. Let's go there.
They've had a big weekend. You know what I mean? You can forgive them for forgetting some of the details.
Completely.
Quite a few people have had a weekend affected by the weather, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, whatever. I know that they've come out the other side of it and have got big smiles on their face this morning, but there have been all sorts of disruption.
Yeah, it's been a really, really tricky few days. Carol is with us now and can tell us what we can expect for the next few days. Morning, Carol. If you're ever going to fly first class, that's the time to do it.
Gold medal in one hand, champagne in the other.
Probably.
Is that right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I could try it.
It's a turn left moment, isn't it, if you get a gold medal?
Just show the goal.
Oh, yeah.
No, not you.
Don't you know who I am?
Back of the plane. Thank you very much. We're going to continue talking about the Winter Olympics now, aren't we, actually?
We are, because it's been 2 weeks of non-stop sporting action, but the Winter Olympics, of course, in Beijing, as Holly was just saying, have now come to a close.
As we have been hearing as well, Team GB, the games, mixed results, I think it's fair to say, falling short of the medal target, but ending on a high, as we were just talking about, with the success in the curling.
Let's remind ourselves of some of the highlights. I'm delighted to say we are joined now by UK Sport Chair Dame Catherine Granger. OK, let's get the awkward bit out of the way first, shall we? Slightly disappointing few weeks.
I think that's...
Talking to Carol again in the next hour with plenty of detail what the weather forecast is going to be like.
Yes, that's on the way. We're here until 9:15 this morning. Elsewhere, the Queen will continue with light duties today after she tested positive for COVID. Palace
officials say her symptoms are mild and that she'll be receiving medical attention and following all of the guidelines.
Let's grab a word this morning with
Indeed.
The US President Joe Biden has agreed in principle to hold talks with the Russian leader Vladimir Putin. This is all about discussing the crisis in Ukraine, of course.
The White House said the meeting will only go ahead if Russia does not invade its neighbour.
Let's find out the very late. I think Chris and Linda probably over the last few months have answered hundreds and hundreds of viewers' questions, haven't they?
Yeah.
And thank you. I mean, you keep sending them in, and whatever time we get the opportunity to spend with experts like Chris and Linda, we'll continue to ask those questions for you.
Carol is with us in the next half hour, telling you what the weather is going to be like for the next few days. But it's time now to get the news, travel and weather where you are this morning.
What an inspiration. Well, Lady Marie joins us live from South London, and delighted to say Martin Hibbert is with us in the studio on the sofa as well. Thank you very much to be with us, Martin. Lady Marie, it's come to you first of all. It's wonderful to hear your story and how you positively look at what you can do. I just wonder, when you look back now, what was the hardest part for you of overcoming that injury? Was it physical, mental, or a mixture of both?
I would say...
You're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, trying to raise £1 million for spinal injuries research and help with all of that. And I wonder, coming back to you, Lady Marie, how you feel, having been through what you've been through, to think about the challenge that Martin is taking on to try and raise all this money by climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Trauma, haven't you? Your family has been through a big trauma. How, for people watching this who look at you and think, you're going to do this incredible thing, you've been ill again and again and again, how do you keep
more people with spinal cord injuries.
I get the feeling with that sort of drive and passion, you'll do whatever it
You're
takes.
gonna be fine.
Very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Martin.
Thank
And
you.
Lady Marie, lovely to speak to you on the programme as well. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us too. And we'll continue to follow
Thank
your
you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Take
climb
care.
up Mount Kilimanjaro.
Thank you.
Nice to see you both. Thank you very much for being with us.
It is 8:49. The weather has been really, really difficult for lots of people over the last few days, hasn't it? Carol is here now with the...
Now, we've got the remarkable story for you today of 3 friends who set up on an epic journey rowing across the Atlantic Ocean on Christmas Day.
After 3,000 miles of battling sleep deprivation, salt sores and exhaustion, not only did they reach the finish line, they knocked 7 days off the previous world record attempt.
It was all in aid of charity after one of the rowers, Kat, was diagnosed with incurable cancer. Let's look back at their journey. You don't feel the waves looked choppy as choppy as you remember it?
Never quite does, like, the camera never...
I think before you started and on the journey and at the end as well. Looking back now, was it much harder than you thought it would be? How do you sort of assess it now?
I should answer that now, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I've really struggled coming back to reality, and I think because for me, and for all of us, like, your row is such a long campaign, isn't it? So we've spent 2 years. The idea was actually 3 years ago, and I always felt like it was the thing that kind of got me through treatment. And then you sort of come to the end, and I panic because I'm like, if it comes back, what's going to get me through? And actually, I think I realised probably on the plane on the way home that actually it's friends and family and my medical team that get you through. That was a big piece of it. But then it's...
I had it out of my system. And
You've got to let it go eventually.
I know. It'll get out eventually. So, yeah.
But I think that's totally understandable, isn't it? To have that release once you put your entire mind and your body on the line for such a long time, and for a great cause and a great friend as well.
Yeah.
And then when you feel you've actually done that,
Yeah.
Something has to explode,
I
doesn't
know.
it?
I mean, we're being followed. It wasn't a Jaws type situation. So.
No, there
And
wasn't.
who was it who said that they wanted to stay in Antigua? Which one of you
I
was
think
it?
both. I do. Like, I missed family and friends 100%, but I think it's that it signifies that it's over,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want... I wasn't ready for that.
And there is still other crews out there, and that's one thing. Drinking pina coladas in Antigua, and I was
Marvellous.
We're going to stay
Pinot
chatting to you,
banana.
by the way. We've got to do this weird thing where we have to take
we
the
do
time,
it?
and then the news channel disappear onto the news channel, and we
Just
continue
explain.
on BBC One.
Oh, okay.
So we have to say it's 8:59. So see you in a moment, news channel,
There you go.
and off they go, and we can continue chatting to you. And now, remind me, the name of your boat. What was it called?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Okay.
And for what inspired you to call your boat Dolly Parton?
Oh, it's not... So.
We've got a little treat for you this morning.
Oh my gosh, don't.
Do you know, please don't joke, because we really would love it if...
Okay, well,
let's wait
have a
and
look.
see.
Have a look at one of these screens, because here's a message for you.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
No.
I'm naming everything Dolly Parton from now on.
She's amazing, though, isn't she?
she's a wonderful woman.
she's a wonderful-
like, incredible.
Is at times, I know you said you loved it, but at times when it was really grim, you said it was really grim.
Yeah.
You were really brutally honest about how horrific it
Maybe
was.
too much.
Martin, right now.
Trademark.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on
Thank
such
you.
a
It's
Thanks
brilliant
for
to
having
see
us.
you all back safe.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because we
Thanks for
followed
having us.
you all the way, and I know at
Yeah.
times it was tricky, so well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's have a last brief look at the headlines wherever you are this morning. Confess, I didn't listen to the last 20 seconds of that.
I know.
I got confused by the hash brown.
Sarah, thank you so much, but we were both just staring at the breakfast. Free breakfast, let's get there now.